Thousands of years ago, the prophet Isaiah stated the following words: O Lord of hosts, God of Israel, that dwellest between the cherubims, thou art God, even thou alone. Of all the kingdoms of the earth, thou hast made heaven and earth. Brothers and sisters, we know that end-time prophecy predicts a man of sin will stand on earth proclaiming himself to be a god in the last days. Worse yet, he will claim the title of Jesus Christ himself. The wonderful thing here is, it is also prophesied that students of prophecy will be able to point this man of sin out rather boldly. It says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4, that we should let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now, as we look at the churches today, we see a very noticeable falling away from Christ. Today's Christian appears no different than those that deny Christ as Lord. They drink alcohol, they smoke, they have premarital sex, they wear offensive clothing, they listen to rock music, and even go to R-rated movies, just to name a few. And by the way, the standards for rating movies has changed drastically. What they give an R rating to today would have been an X rating just 25 years ago. So, since it's so easily seen today that a falling away from Christ has been fulfilled by the churches, has the man of sin also been revealed as the prophecy predicted for today? Is there really a man that claims to be a god on earth right now? Well, besides all the false Christs that are running around today that Satan uses to try to cloud the issue and pull the onus off the real man of sin, there is one church that does have a leader who has claimed to be a god since as far back as 538 AD. In fact, the leader of this church still claims this title in writing to this day. It seems that John Paul II now presides over the universal church from his place upon Christ's cross, said Bishop Dunn, who traveled with 7 other prelates to Rome. The Pope is of so great dignity and so exalted that he is not a mere man, but as it were, God, and the Vicar of God. The Pope and God are the same, so he has all power in heaven and earth. Pope Nicholas I declared that the appellation of God had been confirmed by Constantine on the Pope, who, being God, cannot be judged by man. The Pope is not only the representative of Jesus Christ, he is Jesus Christ himself, hidden under the veil of the flesh. Now, this blasphemy is not just limited to the popes. The priests themselves have proclaimed themselves to be a god on earth as well. The Bishop of Fort Wayne literally sanctioned the following Vatican-approved statement that says, "Of what sublime dignity is the office of the Christian priest, who is thus privileged to act as the ambassador and the vicegerent of Christ on earth. He continues the essential ministry of Christ. He teaches the faithful with the authority of Christ. He pardons the penitent sinner with the power of Christ. He offers up again the same sacrifice of adoration and atonement which Christ offered on Calvary." No wonder that the name which spiritual writers are especially fond of applying to the priest is that of Alter Christus, which means, for the priest is and should be another Christ. If you would like many more quotes on this topic, just go to the URL you see on the screen right now. Now, if you go to ribbontogon.org, you will find just about 9,000 pages of documented facts that have been accumulated after nearly 30 years of research, proving that absolutely every sinful desire that has ever been known to man have been embraced by the popes of Rome. Everything from child rape to murder, from blasphemy to satanic ritual, from bowing to false gods to actually torturing hundreds of millions that refuse to bow in worship to the popes. These horrific acts and countless more have been committed by the popes of the Roman Catholic Church all throughout history. Prophecy stated we would know who the man of sin is in the very last days, and thanks to the historic facts being at our fingertips since the inception of the Internet, we now have no doubt as to who fulfills this prophecy today. Still, There's one more piece of evidence you need to see that locks this all down as an absolute prophetic fulfillment by the Roman Catholic popes residing in the Vatican. Now, you've already seen some of the statements made by the popes and the men that worship him, claiming he is a God on earth. But do you recall the statement made by Isaiah the prophet that was shared at the beginning of the video? When speaking of our Creator God, Isaiah the prophet said, "O Lord of hosts, God of Israel, that dwellest between the cherubims, thou art God." Now, Isaiah says our God sits between the cherubims while on his throne. But what does the prophet John say about the throne that Isaiah says he's sitting on? Revelation 20, verse 11 says, "And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them." Now, according to the Scripture, not only does our God sit on a great white throne, he sits between two cherubims. Now, notice the following photographs of an actual Roman Catholic Mass in the Vatican. The Christian God truly does know the end from the beginning. His prophetic word proves this rather openly. If you need more information about this man of sin in Rome, feel free to visit remnantofgod.org. Thanks for watching. God bless.